Hi there mate, how's it going? It's Benja here, and this is a preview of Yellowstone's Season 4 finale. Let's start with John and Garrett, because this is what we've all been waiting for ever since we learned that Garrett was behind the assassination plot. I saw a comment in my episode 9 video, and I wanted to bring that up here because it's quite interesting. Mark P says, quote, "I think John knows it was Randall who plotted the attack on his family. I think he went to the diner to confront Randall and say what he wanted to say. It wasn't a coincidence." Mark thinks that the show hints at this using John's conversation with the waitress. She's asking John if he is cheating on her because he doesn't know that she works at this diner on the side. So this waitress and John know each other from another diner, which is where John usually hangs out. This suggests that John came to this new diner simply because he knew Garrett was here and he wanted to confront Garrett. That's a really good observation by Mark, because I didn't pick up on that when I watched the episode for the first time, but Mark's point definitely makes sense. I had been wondering why John wasn't able to put two and two together to uncover Garrett as the mastermind, but maybe John already knew, and he was simply keeping his cards close to his chest as he was gearing up for revenge. That could also be why John tells Beth that he thinks Riggins was behind the attack. John doesn't really think that. He's just trying to keep Beth away from all this, because if she were to learn that it was Jamie's biological father who went after them, she would lose her cool and probably try to kill Jamie and Garrett herself. John is trying to protect Beth by hiding the truth from her because he's afraid of what Beth could do, and by distancing himself from Beth, by kicking her out of the lodge, he's making sure that Beth has plausible deniability if something were to go wrong. So John is protecting Beth on two fronts. Firstly, by not giving her an opportunity to do something stupid like going after Jamie and Garrett herself, and secondly, by keeping her in the dark, which protects her from a legal standpoint. I think all of this put together means that John will 100% go after Garrett in the season finale. Remember John's line from episode 9, he said, quote, "If your plan is to get me back for what you did to yourself, I will treat you like everyone else who showed up with the same idea, and I will rid the friggin' world of you," end quote. John then gifts Garrett a last meal, saying that he should enjoy it because you never know which meal will be your last. That is obviously incredibly ominous, and after rewatching this exchange a couple of times, I agree with Mark that John probably knows the truth, and that's exactly why he intentionally goes to this diner. He's there to look Garrett in the eye before he rids the world of him, as he says. So yeah, I think John will go after Garrett in the season 4 finale. Jamie's position in this whole ordeal is extremely intriguing as well, because I think there's a window of opportunity here for him. Let me explain. What he wants right now is to become the governor of Montana. His biological father, Garrett, stands in his way because his criminal past would tank Jamie's campaign, while his adoptive father, John, is a bigger threat because John himself is running for office just to prevent Jamie from winning. And here's where things get interesting. If Jamie is smart enough, he could attempt to kill two birds with one stone. He could attempt to, doesn't mean he will succeed. He could tell John what he knows, that Garrett was behind the attacks, knowing full well that this would trigger John to go after Garrett, and maybe that way Jamie could catch John in the act. Not Jamie himself obviously, but he could alert the new sheriff, for example, Bill Ramsey. Jamie would have to be discreet and figure out a way to keep his identity secret from Bill Ramsey, but this is the window of opportunity I'm talking about. Let John take care of the Garrett problem and then catch John in the act to take care of the John problem. Maybe Jamie has already let John know about Garrett. That could be how John knew where Garrett would be and why he confronted him. The biggest counter-argument against that plan is the fact that John knows Jamie killed a journalist in season 2, so John could, in theory, expose Jamie as well. We don't exactly know what type of evidence John has. We don't know if it's just his testimony or Rip's testimony, or if he's got any physical evidence. We simply don't know, which is why I think Jamie could take this risk in the season finale to catch John in the act. Jamie could also use this info he has on Garrett to get on John's good side again, but I think that's a bridge too far. I don't see Jamie and John patching things up anytime soon, which is why the plan I mentioned earlier seems more probable. We can't talk about Jamie without mentioning Beth. She is in a place she's never been before, having been truly bashed by her father for the first time in her life. She was used to getting treated harshly by her late mother, but she never saw what John did coming, because she was John's little princess who could do nothing wrong. That's what she thought anyway, as her protest shenanigans with Summer was a bit too much for John's liking. Plus, like we discussed in this video, John probably wants to protect Beth from the upcoming chaos, and this is a surefire way to keep her as far away from the ranch as possible. I'm not really expecting a full heel turn from Beth, where she would just take the side of market equities, but that is still an idea worth exploring. As far as I know, Beth has power of attorney regarding the Yellowstone Ranch. She did not have that in the Season 3 finale because she filed her documents in a different state, which Montana doesn't recognize, and that's how Jamie still had power of attorney at that point, and how he was able to lease a portion of the Yellowstone Ranch to market equities for their airport project. Since then, though, Beth must have filed the right documents, so now she could do the same thing Jamie did in the Season 3 finale. In fact, she could do something worse. She could sell some of the land permanently, instead of just leasing it. Beth has never cared too much about the legacy of this ranch, and she kept fighting for it simply because she loved her father. She has said multiple times that she would sell the ranch the day John died, so if she views John as dead in her heart, would she go ahead and sell some of the land? Would her anger lead her to a catastrophic decision like that? It certainly could, but personally I don't think it will. I think she'll find another way to lash out, but she won't sell a portion of the ranch's land. Also, it looks like we won't get the Rip Beth wedding this season either. Don't think we'll see that in the season finale, which is mildly disappointing. I wish we could have gotten this wedding in a slow season like this. Talking of the slow nature of the season, perhaps no other character has been as far away from the action as Kayce has been, because after leaving the ranch for Monica and buying his own house, Kayce has been separated from the Dutton family. Kayce has had as much on-camera interactions with the Duttons as Jimmy has had, and Jimmy is in Texas, so yeah, that's not ideal. This wolf business and the vision quest he's on is still interesting to watch though, because it could take Kayce in a different direction. His vision may show him that Monica is not the right partner for him, because obviously they've had some problems. Avery came back and flirted with Kayce a little bit, which made Monica jealous, but Kayce has insisted that he truly loves Monica. It's up to you to decide if you believe him. I feel like there is a lot of friction there. Nonetheless, I don't think that's what the Vision Quest will be about. I think it'll have something to do with the Yellowstone Ranch and its legacy, because Kayce has basically abandoned the ranch and his family, and this Vision Quest might show him that he is the future of the ranch. He is the next John Dutton, so he should act like it and take what is rightfully his, instead of constantly running away from it. Last but not least, let's touch on Rainwater, because his relative absence has been one of the most disappointing aspects of this season. His right-hand man Mo is getting more screen time, which is a great development, but Rainwater should have been more present. So because of that, I'm thinking maybe there's a reason why Rainwater hasn't had much to do, and we have to go back to episode 2 to possibly understand why. The new CEO of Market Equities, Caroline Warner, came into town when a skull was found on the construction site of the airport, and construction was halted because of that. There had to be an archaeological survey, because this appeared to be an Indian burial site with multiple artifacts. This is when Caroline made Rainwater an insanely good offer. She said Market Equities would fund Rainwater's new casino and hotel construction in exchange for the airport construction to continue. Caroline claimed that together they could turn this place into the new Las Vegas, but Rainwater understandably wanted to see the fine print of the deal to believe it. The show never followed up on this, but we saw later in the season, because of Summer's protest, that the airport construction has continued, which suggests that Market Equities and the Broken Rock Reservation came to an agreement. Rainwater was against the airport from the get-go, so he was on John's side, but it is possible that he has switched sides, as they've made him an offer he can't refuse. I think that would be a great twist to open up the season finale, because the reservation and Rainwater's role in the main storyline has been obscure, at least so far this season, and this would be a great way to raise the stakes. We shall see what happens this Sunday, but that's all the time I've got for today. Be sure to share your theories in the comments, like the video if you've enjoyed this preview, and subscribe for more movie reviews and TV show breakdowns. That's it for now, take care and see you in the next video.